The mic is okay. Oh, now it's working. Cool. Hey everybody. So I don't know if I probably mentioned in my discussions with some of you, but I flew all over from Athens, all the way from Athens, Greece, to attend this conference. So that means two things. First of all, I'm still recovering from jet lag, which means I hope it's not too obvious. And the second thing is that you have to put up with my Greek accent. I know I have a strong Greek accent, so you have to put up with that. So we've heard a lot of sessions that talked like about partnerships from a 40,000 feet view, and all these terms like go-to ecosystem and this multi-dimensional impact of partnerships that partnerships have in our orgs. But what I wanted to do is to share my own experience, and the way I want to do it is actually showcase actual initiatives that I've taken to prove the impact of my role and the partners department in Chili Piper. So we're going to focus on actual initiatives, cross-departmental initiatives, and how I was able to go to my executive team and say, here's a 6-numbered figure of what the partnership has brought to our org. So how everything started, just a bit of background. I used to work in sales, and I promise that there have been times where I thought of going back to sales because things are pretty simple there, There is somebody that sells, somebody that buys, and, the relation is pretty straightforward. While with partnerships, I figured out that it's a bit more complicated. So we had a VP of partnerships back then that promoted me to a partnerships manager, and she left the company 2 days after I got the promotion. So suddenly I was the only person doing partnerships within Chili Piper, a super rapidly growing tech company, without having the experience of doing that. So for quite a while, it was doing and learning. Obviously, big thanks to the Cloud Software Association and the partnership leaders community. The resources were amazing for me. Like, it helped me be successful. But the main big question in the beginning was like, how can I make a partnership successful? My CEO has this saying, and he keeps on repeating that what he wants is actually prove one success, like make one partnership successful so we can then replicate and make the department successful. So I was trying to find ways to answer that question, like find a single partner, make it a successful relationship, start establishing this bi-directional revenue flow so we can then replicate and prove that there is a reason for the existence of such a department within our org. So at the beginning, I just questioned myself, why would another software company promote our tool? And I'm talking about tech partnerships where they don't involve a rev share. So I usually, sometimes, I know it's a cliche, but I call our partnerships friendships because there is no money relation between the two ISV partners. We don't pay our tech partners a rev share. Like, the reason that they would promote our tool, we had to look on some other reasons. So I'm going to focus my case study on our partnership with Clearbit, which was the first partner we proved the success with, so we can, as I mentioned before, prove the existence and justify the existence of our department. So we looked into the whys. The first thing we found is that there was a great product synergy. And I need to describe a bit more about what Chili Piper does. This is not a pitch. It will help you understand more about my presentation. So Chili Piper, how many of you actually have web forms? Like your company has web forms that say, have a C2A that says something like a call to action that says, get a demo or get in contact with our sales team? Probably everybody. So Chili Piper links in these forms. We read the form fields, and we qualify the inbound leads, and we also route them to the correct representative from our customers team, and we pop up this person's calendar so the inbound leads, the people that are visiting your website, can actually book a demo right there on the spot without needing to wait for a couple of weeks for somebody to reach out to them. What Clearbit does is it enriches data that are captured through these forms. So somebody can only fill the form with their email, and what Clearbit does is, based on this email, it enriches the information, it gives information about the company size and all these things without needing to ask the actual prospect. So our integration, what it does is that we read the enriched data from Clearbit, and based on that, we qualify, route, and allow the prospects to book. So it was a great product synergy. The integration made both products look better. It was very powerful for Clearbit, very powerful for us. And we also looked on Crossbeam. Thanks Crossbeam, we had a very large customer overlap and lots of happy users that were already using the integration. And another crucial part is that we didn't have a competitive product roadmap. It's very frequent with most of the technology partners nowadays where, there are more and more tech companies that you're gonna have a somewhat competitive product roadmap. There's gonna be some alignment on the functionality of your products. What we saw with Clearbit is that it was the least competitive product roadmap, at least in this segment, in the data enrichment segment. So these were the 3 whys, and that's why we chose to begin with Clearbit among our integrations. So based on my experience, we had kind of tried to go to market with other partners in the past, and the discussion just remained on the partner manager to partner manager level. We were both happy and we're like, let's do that. But in the end of the day, it didn't work out. So we thought of getting the executive alignment in the first place, so we don't need to constantly ask for approvals for every single initiative we want to plan with this partner. So we got our, you need also to prove that your partners, that's the question at the end of the day. Is my partner equally motivated to pursue this partnership and go to market with me? So what we did is we booked an introductory meeting with our CEOs. So this way we had a personal rapport on the executive level, the confirmation of the why that I was talking about before, but from the side of the partner and not our side. And we also had a mutually shared kickoff plan when it comes to the go-to-market. Now let's go to the main subject, which is the go-to-market. How did we reassure that this is going to be a successful partnership and it's going to bring revenue to both teams? Because that's what the initial goal was. So we found out that the key to converting a partnership to an established bi-directional revenue flow was the cross-departmental approach. We had this thought of democratizing the integration value across our departments instead of having, just keeping it for the partnership team. We wanted to pass this integration value across every single department so we can just maximize the impact that it has in our org and Clearbit's org. But what's the way we did that? Let's focus. We're going to go team by team, and I'm going to tell you more about what initiatives we did with each department. So first of all, start with the SDR team. We mapped the full prospect report to Clearbit's customer report. We used Crossbeam for that. So imagine a Salesforce report of around 20,000 named accounts that our SDRs were prospecting. And we mapped it against the customer report of Clearbit, which gave us 600 plus overlaps. This way, we had a very crucial information about these prospects, which helped us personalize the way we were reaching out to these prospects. We used the personalized messaging that was related to our integration. So we were saying, you know what, I saw you're using Clearbit on your forms. We integrate with Clearbit. We can get that enriched data and help your prospects book a meeting right away through your forms. It was much more impactful to see this messaging for our prospects. We also added a step that if emails don't work, because most of the times they don't work. I know that most of us, myself included, we're getting so many cold emails that after a while, whatever messaging you have, it just gets lost. So we added a step for SDRs to ask a referral from the Clearbit team if there was no response on the email cadence. So after a while, when they tried 4 or 5 emails, it didn't work, they would ping me and say, hey, Alexis, can you help me out and get me a referral for this account? So I would reach out to the Clearbit team and say, you know what, we have this account, it's pre-vetted, we know that it's a good, within our ICP, they could get help by this integration, and Clearbit would provide a warm intro, and this would go back to the SDR. So the SDRs were super happy. And we got 5 booked meetings in the first week of trying this cadence. It's still ongoing, we're getting more and more, so this was super impactful. We sourced 3 customer case studies showcasing the value of the integration. So this was very important because, first of all, it proved to us that it's a valuable integration. It's something that it's impactful for our customers, and our customers were very happy to talk about that. And we used these case studies to run ads targeting Clearbit customers. We used a tool called metadata. I don't know if anybody of you is familiar, but we targeted this population with a case study referring to the integration. Again, super impactful initiative. And we even did a TikTok video. I swear our social media manager kind of blackmailed me to record that. I hopefully can play, but you're lucky if it doesn't. Yeah.
Hi, this is Alexis Petrichos, and I'm a partnerships manager for Chili Piper. Today I want to show you what an amazing experience you could be offering your prospects by using the Clearbit Chili Piper integration. Just take a look at how our mutual customer Gong is doing that.
What I was talking about. The prospect is just giving their email, and we pop up like the calendar so they can book a meeting right away.
You insert your email, and it's done. Amazing, right?
Cool. So we also looked into doing events. So we were constantly organizing webinars with speakers from both teams. We're holding, we have also generated around 5 opportunities from that within Q1, which was very impactful as well. And we're currently organizing in-person co-sponsored executive dinners on the works. We're using Crossbeam for that as well. We're identifying like very important prospects, and we invite their point of contacts in our dinners with Clearbit. So they pick 10 customers among our customer list. We do the same in their customer list, and it's been working great. We have found out with other partners that it has generated 300% ROI. So this is definitely a suggestion for the people that work on events. Now, what we did with the account executives and account managers is, first of all, constant enablement and integration. So we have a lot of resources that talk more about how this integration works. And we've established a monthly recurring meeting that's called Chili Partner Spotlight, where we're inviting external partners to come in, tell our sellers about their tools, showcase the integration, and also establish rapport with our reps. It's better to have a face to talk with instead of just seeing an integration listing. So this was great, and we did it with Clearbit as well. And we also implemented the Crossbeam widget to proactively make the AE and AM team aware of on the customer overlaps. So imagine that as an extended part of the SDR notes when they're handing off something to an account executive. The account executive can see what's the customer overlap with our partners. So they can proactively see that one of the prospects that they're speaking with is a customer of Clearbit. So that makes them, during the discovery session, to be like, you know what, we're working with form enrichment tools like Clearbit, and this just gives a smooth way into the call. We also have a resource center, workflow charts, the customer case studies I was talking about before, and we led the cross-sell campaign using Crossbeam data. So Chili Piper, besides the tool I told you about, we also have a scheduling tool, similar to Calendly, but just a bit more focused on enterprise use cases. That means that although we knew that somebody is our customer, we didn't know they're using Concierge, which is the tool I was talking about. So we used Crossbeam data to target these customers and say, you know what, you're a customer of both Chili Piper and Clearbit, but we saw that you're using Clearbit on your forms. This could be, you could review our new tool, Concierge. So we actually got like around $50,000 in expansion from this, $50,000 in expansion from this initiative up to now. And the CS team, this was very important. What we're trying to do is, first of all, we use Crossbeam to proactively notify our CS team when somebody is a customer of Clearbit, so they can make it a box that needs to be ticked during onboarding. They would ask the customer, what do you use for form enrichment? If they say nothing, they could say, you know what, we integrated with Clearbit, that can help you reduce your forms on your web form. Or otherwise, if they're using Clearbit, they would just say, let's enable the integration, which helped us with retention, and was a great initiative. Let's take a look at the results now. This is just in Q1, and again, this is how we proved that there is a reason for going to market with our integration partners. We got more than 100,000 in pipeline and 50,000 in closed won. This is the first quarter we're trying that consistently, and this is what it has generated. What we see in April is that we have already reached these numbers just in April, which is Q2 for us. Which is Q2 for us. These are the mentions of the word Clearbit in sales calls. We got that through Gong. So look at how it increases very rapidly, and look at the Q1 metric compared to 2021. The good thing about that is that when our reps are mentioning Clearbit, it means that, first of all, they're identifying that the customer is using Clearbit, or they can use that as a selling point to promote Chili Piper. And we have seen that the Gong tracker is an amazing way to actually keep track of that. It has worked great, and if you see again, within April, we have reached half the column of Q1, just in April, so it's constantly increasing. And also, it brought awareness. This is Sarah McNamara. Is anybody familiar with her? Okay, so she's a senior manager of marketing operation for Salesforce. It was Slack before they got acquired. So this is her post. Obviously, it wasn't paid, like it's not an ad or something like that. We were talking to her, and she just found this like super interesting. This is a workflow that Gong built. It's the case study I showed before, and it got 60,000 impressions. Clearbit, you know, I think I can share that. Clearbit has already got 4 or 5 opportunities from this post, and we're having an extensive campaign. We're targeting all the people that have reacted to that, so we can, you know, generate pipeline as well from this post. But again, 60,000 impressions just, you know, by talking about our integration with Clearbit. What are the next steps? As my CEO says, we'll get one success, we replicate. We want to do it across our integration partner base and do it with all, some of them are actually sitting here, and you know, just make it successful with even more partners. Yeah. Time for questions. And again, I want to announce that each person that asks a question will get a Chili Piper hot sauce, Chili Piper branded hot sauce, and rumors say that it's pretty tasty. You have a loud voice, come on.
Yeah, so how do you avoid being a creep when reaching out to prospects and ask them, like, I saw you used Clearbit.
Yeah.
You know, can we connect it? Because ultimately, like, you know, you will have to explain somehow, like, where this information came from. Do you mention Crossbeam? Is that
No, we actually try to avoid mentioning that we're using a tool like Crossbeam to find that data. Obviously, this is something that some companies don't feel comfortable with. So what we do, we were lucky in the case of Clearbit, because if you inspect these web pages, you can actually see Clearbit lying behind these web pages in the code, like everybody can see that. So I would just enable our SDR team to be able to respond that way. So if somebody says, hey, come on, how do you know we're using Clearbit? We'll just say, we saw that on the web form. We just inspected it, we'll send a screenshot, and it's there. So yeah, but good question.
Any other questions? Do you want to? The microphone. Oh, wait, it's back on. There we go. Look at that.
Hi, Alexis. Thanks for that. Just curious how you would kind of scale this out. It feels like, you know, one big partner like Clearbit, you could put this much into it. What if you had 4 partners in the next quarter? Are there things that you would cut, or are there things that, or do you think you could do this all across a bunch of partners? How scalable do you see this?
So first of all, it's a good question because we're doing it right now. It's happening. So we're building SDR cadences for more partners. The real question here is like if we can do it with partners that are in the same segment. So can we do it with ZoomInfo, for example? Probably not. We are friendly with them. Obviously, if somebody asks us, for example, oh, what would you suggest? We won't heavily say promote one tool over the other, but yeah, it's just a matter in each category. You just need to be a bit picky, and that has to do on the why. Like if you go back to the why, in each category there is certainly one partner that you align a bit more with. So just get the partner, make it a success. I don't think like the number of partners we can do it with is limited. If you look, you know, at some point, if you want, you can go to chilipiper.com/integrations. There are like partners on very different that offer a different functionality. So that means we can target a broad range of overlapping prospects.
You're going to get to use the microphone. Aren't you excited?
Very excited. Following up on that, like you just mentioned, you enable your SDRs or sellers to respond in a certain way in response to the partner. Do you have any like advice on how to enable sales teams or CX teams when it comes to partnerships, especially as mentioned when you not just have one partner, but maybe like 5 different ones?
Silly partner spotlight. I mentioned that before, inviting partners to speak to our team, to our customer-facing team. It has been so great. Like the feedback we've been getting from our sellers is like, this is amazing. And it's the same feedback we get from our partners because they're getting a fast way to our sellers, which is something that every partner wants. Obviously, we ask them to reciprocate. We do that in their customer-facing teams as well. And it has been very impactful. It just, for quite a while, if we take it back, like I had mentioned in the beginning of my session, I was saying that partnerships just remained in the executive partnership level and never got democratized across the org. That's what we're trying to do. That's what the Chile Partner Spotlight, and all the initiatives I talked about are about. And that's what we're trying to do on the other org as well. We don't want to keep the discussion, head of technology partnerships, and just keep it there, like in this silo. We're trying to get the partnership value across the org in the other org as well. We want to talk to Clearbit reps. We want to talk to our partners reps and enable them as well.
Any other questions? Nope, nobody wants any hot sauce?
Somebody both grabbed one.
He's going home with 2, right? Awesome, that was really great stuff, and like closing the day out, awesome presentation. Let's give him a big round of applause all the way from Greece.